Hey everyone, welcome back to the reactjs course. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the use form hook inside of a React application. And if you find this interesting, let's get started right away. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the use form hook inside of a React application. So firstly, we'll design a basic form that contains a few input fields where we want to enter our different types of input. And lastly, we'll be using the use form hook, and then we'll be implementing that is storing the values, that is whatever we typed inside the input field. Okay. So firstly, let's get started with the form. So over here inside my return block, let me initialize my form. Yeah, the first thing is let's initialize the input field. So over here the type is gonna be of text. Let's give a placeholder, it's gonna be name. Let's initialize the second input field. So type is gonna be email, and the placeholder is gonna be email. Okay, so next we have the third one, that is for the password. So input, so the type is gonna be of password. All right, so the placeholder is also gonna be a password. Okay, so at the last we're gonna have a button. We're just gonna say submit. Okay, so the button, I think the type is gonna be of type submit. Save the file once. Let's go check out the web page. Yeah, so pretty much we have all the input fields coming up. So let's just give some basic styling. Let's remove the h2 tag. So let's go to our app.css, that is over here. So firstly, let's target the app. Let's give a display of grid, and then place item center. Okay, yes, that's working. And then next, let's target the form. So let's say form, and then we're gonna say display flex, flex direction of column. Save the file. So firstly, let's initialize a div inside our form. So over here, let's say div, and let's give a class name to the div. Let's say form container. So for the form container, let's give this style. Okay, all right, so now let's give some spacing to the form container. Let's say margin top of 50 pixels. All right, so for each of the input field, let's give this style. So let's write input. Let's give so let's just multi-select and just give the class name over here. So class name is gonna be input. Yeah, it's just gonna be input. So now let's target the input inside our app.css. Yeah, so over here we're gonna say outline of none. Let's also give a border of none. Then a bit of width, let's say 200 pixels, and then save the file. All right, I think yeah, the border should be there. So let's also give some internal padding of, let's say, 7 pixels, and let's remove the border part. Okay, so save the file once. Awesome. So now let's provide a margin bottom to each of the view, say 10 pixels. All right, so we have designed the inputs in a decent way. So now let's go back to our app.js, give the class name to the button. Let's say button. Let's come back to our app.css again, target the button attribute. Okay, so let's again give a width of 200 pixels and then some margin top, a padding of 6 pixels. Alright, so now let's initialize the use form hook that is required. So let's go to the use form hook over here. Okay, so if you just type use hook form, you're gonna go to the first link and then let's press on get started. Yeah, so this is the dependency we need to install. So since I'm using yarn, I'm just gonna copy the react hook form over here, open up a new terminal, then we're gonna say yarn add react hook form. Okay, and let's wait for it to install the dependency, and let's pretty much just copy what they've given, that is the register handle submit, that is a form state pretty much that's coming from the use form. Let's copy that and then let us paste it inside our app.js. Let's import, okay, let's first install it, then only we can import the use form hook. Yeah, I think it's still taking some time. Yeah, so let's just import it manually. Anyway, it's just gonna get installed in just a bit. Yeah, I think it's installed. So let's import it from the react hook form, save the file. So now if you go check out the docs over here, there is something called as spreading the value by making use of the register function they've given. Okay, so this register is coming from the use form hook, so let's write that and hook it up with our input fields. Okay, so we're gonna say register, the value we're gonna provide is name. So for the second one we are gonna say register, this is of course gonna be email, and for the input let's write again register. This one is gonna be password. Yeah, so next we have the on submit that goes to the form, so let's write on submit. So this is gonna be handle submit of the submit, right? So let's go check out the docs once. Yeah, so it's gonna be this value, so let's copy that once and then paste it over here. Let's close that bracket. Yeah, I think pretty much we have done. So we are initializing the on submit function over here, so everything is stored inside of data, so that's the reason we're console.logging the data over here. So let's see if everything works once. So over here let's provide a message which says form data stored. Okay, so once we save the file, let's come back to the web page. Okay, let's open up our console once. So as soon as we click on submit, let's see what happens. Okay, so the name we give, let's type that out. Okay, let's write a random name, then a email, let's also give a password, and now let's press on the submit button. All right, yeah, so as you can see we have the form data that is being stored. Okay, so we have the name that is Virat, the email that we have given, the password that I've typed, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. And then if you press on the submit button, the use form hook is triggered off. That is basically the on submit function over here, and we are getting the data. Okay, so this is registering the name, the email, as well as the password that we have given in the input fields. Okay, and we are storing all of the data inside this data value, so that's the reason we are console logging that particular data. Okay, so that's the way you use the use form hook inside of a React application. Okay, so I think that's it for this video, and then let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.